Good morning. Welcome to my A Sunday Thought. All during the week, I usually see clients read. This week was an interesting week for me. First of all, I got addicted to a series on Netflix. And so the hours ticked by, and many of my jobs that I wanted to get done was kind of put to a side as I stayed up late. As soon as I was up, I wanted to see the next episode, et cetera, et cetera. And that hasn't happened for a while when I got really, really busy, but that wasn't the main thing. The main thing was I had two friends at different times of the week. Um, you might want to say that I was able to utilize the work that I do for people for them. And that has you feel a little humble that you may know that you have a great process. You may know that the work that you do helps people and gets them to achieve, not, I doesn't get them, but if you know what I mean, it helps them to achieve what they want, whether it's peace of mind, whether it's achievement, whether it's creating what they want. And usually I keep my work a little separate from my friendships because, I teach, I do tarot card readings in particular, I do past life regressions, I do other different kinds of psychic readings, and I do quite a number of the energy transformation work. And I find that one needs to be humble when they're around their friends. Usually I have a few people I can say when I've had a really interesting session with someone, and I will share that with them. But mostly no. Mostly I just kind of keep it in and excited in myself and of the results that I hear. And as I say, a few friends do get to share that with me. But this week, it just happened in the same week that I had two friends wanting to make a difference and decided that I would be able to help them, which is my pleasure to be able to do that. Because I don't often, and especially on this program, I have not talked about my work really that much at all. I may have mentioned it, but I have, over the years of study and working to refine a technique which can utilize my psychic ability with my spiritual knowledge, with my awareness, to be able to clear your blocks, to clear the blocks. I worked with myself for many years on doing that. You see, very often based on our childhood and or our past lives or future lives, whatever way you want to look at the lives, that we become fragmented and blocked, or we make decisions about ourselves and about life as to how that can be. And one of the elements is really to ensure that the energy that you have flows clearly. It's like all these blocks create little rocks in the river. And for me, all energy, doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter what I'm looking at, whether it's emotional, whether it's mental, whether it's intellectual, whether it's spiritual, whether it's all the other things that I look at, your male, female, your chakras. To me, everything needs to be flowing. And if it's not flowing, then that needs to be transformed. The other element of what I do is I take one little piece of a subject. I take a subject. And often I'll sit down and say, well, what is it you really want? And then we look to find out which is the best way to come in on that area. And that's the other thing. It's like taking slivers of ourselves and clearing the blocks. Very often when I first start with a client, I can work for a long time, far too long really than I need to be. And sometimes I have to actually do the first session over two sessions because there's so much to clear. And what the majority of people don't understand is that it's like shaving off the pieces to make things begin to work. And then after, you get to these beautiful pieces of beliefs and attitudes and energies that sometimes are eons old, and sometimes even things that have been created off planet, in other words, on another planet, and that have been brought forward into this world. And it's just a matter, to me, it's a wonderful experience to be able to do that and to find out this information I had no idea of. Luckily, I don't remember it all too much. I do record all my sessions so they can re-listen, because sometimes they need to just to get back to that point of what we have created and earned. So this week for me, I was looking at being humble, like humbled that people trust, people can see that the work that I do can help them uh, to achieve the ends of the results that they want, because many often they've tried many other things and they finally kind of, Norma does this work. I mean, maybe I need to go there and see what she's up to and what she's doing. And actually, I'm privileged that the majority of my friends have been on the spiritual path or learning or growing for a long, long time. So when they come, there's not a huge amount of stuff to move or shift. It's just usually very, very intense. But it's, yeah. So what is my thought this Sunday? Is probably deals with humility, to be humble, to recognize it's not, even though I do that work, it is the energy, it is the time I spent learning, it is the energy of listening, not, I might say, to my inner voice or to my high self or to whatever, whoever taught me over the years, because they definitely have taught me. And to become to a point to realize that we are all working through things. We're all having things that come up and be. So maybe just this week, take a look at your life and take a look at what you might want to discover as to where maybe you are feeling humble, or a sense of recognizing that the energy of the universe works through you, that it is not you. And I looked up for a definition, and it said having a low image of yourself. And I went, what on earth is this? I'm going to delete the app that I have on my phone, because that is totally incorrect for the word humble. It means the recognition that there is a force greater than you that works through you. And for that, I am incredibly privileged. And I just want you to think about that today, this week, within these times that we're in. Where does your energy come where you're grateful? Because I didn't move into gratefulness, but it's part of it. Number one. Number two, in this coming week, if you want to comment, I welcome that. If you want to subscribe, I welcome that. But also know that my website, www.normacowie.com, you can always contact me with a question or something you would like me to comment on. In the meantime, have an absolutely great week. Blessings.